Chair, in terms of the impact to the GDP, Uganda Airlines is domiciled in Uganda. That means the revenues that we make return home and impact the economy. Uganda Airlines, we see ourselves, and also as a country, as a strategic infrastructure project. Chair and honorable members, we promote Uganda abroad. We have a saying in the airline that every time Uganda Airlines takes off, it's not just the airline, it is Uganda. We take Uganda to countries and we bring countries to Uganda. Chair, it's unfortunate that social media has taken a different angle in terms of our safety and airworthiness. Chair, our aircraft meet all international and safety standards. We make sure we comply with every regulation as well as every policy that is brought upon us by the regulator. Chair.
Procedure, Chair.
Procedure.
Yes, Chair, it has been within your rulings talking about the performance of the airline and talking about the issue of spare parts. That one is a fact. And it is true, those are issues which arose out of the proceedings. I want to caution colleagues, especially when you are commenting also in the media, beware of the fact that you're sitting in judgment eventually when we retreat to write a report. So anything that is subjective and prejudicial, avoid. That's point number one, and I'm not accusing any particular person. Number two, to the media, of course. And I'm yet to make a finding as to whether there have been distortions or not, because she's not yet there. Let us not communicate in a manner that destroys this entity, or any entity for that matter. We have a duty to streamline the operations of these entities that we supervise. That one is a duty we owe to Ugandans. We equally have a responsibility not to destroy them. Because I'm sure, I don't know where she's going to conclude from, and I'm going to allow her. The question of airworthiness never arose in the course of the proceedings. The moment such a question arises, it has an impact on the clientele of this airline. And meaning we would be risking the very money we appropriate, or we appropriated to this entity. I do not see us hitting a dead end, even in light of the evidence they gave us, because our work is to find solutions. I do not see any speculation from what she has said. I will not speculate on what she's about to say. Now, in statistics and economics, or any business for that matter, there are what we call projections. And when someone talks about the linkages between the airline and the other sectors of the economy, I'm sure we all are alive to those linkages. So I guide that she proceeds and that we are proceeding well. Thank you.
Chair, lastly, in your ruling,
I have made my ruling.
Chair, in your ruling, you are preemptive of the media. When we discuss a loss and the media reports a loss, there should be no problem with that.
Thank you.
So if she's quoting social media, let her produce evidence.
Would you switch off that microphone?
Where she's quoting the social media. They are also
please
doing
switch off the microphone. Honorable Muwada,
it's not a press conference.
Please switch off the microphone. You see, you concluded and I guided. By guiding, I was ruling. And I closed that matter. With respect to preempting the media, unless my English has changed a bit or the English language itself has changed, It is no preemption. I am talking about what the media wrote. It is a fact, now look at me. It is a fact that the airline made losses. Okay? But it is also a fact that the losses reduced, and reduced significantly. We have the figures. They were presented. We are yet to arrive at the cause of the losses. We are yet to suggest solutions to Parliament. So let us not appear negative. Our work today is to receive the witnesses objectively and with an open mind. After that, we shall retreat to express our misgivings, if any.
Chair, you know, I'm one person who wished the airline success, and that's why I'm keen. As we discuss profitability and losses, I've perused through one of the documents titled Summary of Legal Cases and Likely Financial Impact on the airline. When you look at the summary of the cases, majority of the claims against the airline are related to mishandling of baggage, termination of staff, and more importantly, there are some claims to do with...
Which document is that, so we could move together?
In the file, it is the one next to this long document, the one immediately before this long document, in the big file. When you look at this long document, the document immediately before it.
That one in relation to query number?
Chair, we are looking at because there was a question from the Deputy Chair to do with the losses, profitability, among others. And looking at the explanation, citing COVID as one of the issues, but I'm also mentioning this one as a financial impact that causes the airline losses. There's a summary of legal cases and likely financial impact. Now, but looking at the bulk of them, they are largely on illegal termination of staff, illegal termination, handling of luggage, and more importantly, on cancelled flights. Now, as we discuss profitability, and when you look at the steps taken, the status, majority of them where there has been mediation, the airline is committing to compensate according to the status as revealed by the airline. That there's a cancelled flight where they are promising to pay an amount in compensation. Now, this does not speak to now improve the financial ability and capacity. Now, all cases mediated, the airline proposes to pay. When you look at the status, the column for status, the last column on status, like and others, we only understand they are at mediation level. So an airline that is intending to pay a lot of money in compensation cannot assure us that it intends to improve on its financial ability. We want to learn from the airline. What is your strategy to avoid the repetition of this? Because it is reoccurring. It is reoccurring, and is it a confession that the airline accepts every liability? Because most of when you look at status, every mediation there's a promise to repay. It means that the airline accepts liability, and improving its financial capacity require either to defend where you are sued or to avoid being sued by improving on service delivery. Chair, that forms the basis of my concern as we look into the financial.
I did ask a question with respect to which query. Proceed, Madam Bamuturaki.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. There was a conversation, a discussion we had about the global supply chain situation. And, Chair, there was an allusion that our aircraft are parked in the hangar and not operating. Chair, if you allow for just 2 minutes, our head of engineering to give us a scenario of what this global supply chain is about.
I can give 5.
Thank you, sir.
Please proceed. And let me also say this, Honorable Nkunyinji Muwada, it is a fact that these people came late yesterday. It is a fact that you did not show up. They came at 11:10.
It depends.
10 minutes past 11.
I used that clock, but that one in the...
That one? Proceed.
I'm speaking to the point of the aircraft spares and the services. I want to put it on record that our aircrafts are maintained to the top standards in accordance with the regulator, Uganda CAA, and the global requirements. I just want to put that on record that all our aircrafts are maintained to the highest standards and they are safe. I just want that on record. And we are regulated by Uganda CAA, which has the responsibility for oversight of all the aviation entities in the country. So let me speak to the point of aircraft, the scarcity of aircraft spares. This is a global issue, and it's not only to Uganda Airlines or to Uganda. It's a global issue, and it's affecting all aircraft types. That means the CRJ, the Airbuses, the Boeings, it's a general issue. And this is stemming from the challenges that came from the COVID-19. Because when COVID-19 hit, the supply chain was interrupted, and so the production of these spares slowed down. But also after the COVID-19, airlines and the aviation market bounced back. So there was a huge requirement for aircraft. So all the production lines for aeroplanes were ramped up. And these lines require the same parts that other aircrafts require. I'll just give an example. The CRJ aircraft has parts, is assembled by Mitsubishi, but it gets parts from all other OEMs in the world. I'll give you an example. The engine is not manufactured by MHI, but it's manufactured by a different OEM. So those OEMs also get parts from different other suppliers. So there's a challenge generally for aircraft parts all around because of that, because of the ramped up the production of aircraft. So the challenge is just the scarcity. I'll give an example. If you want a windshield for an aircraft right now, I'll give an example, CRJ, you can get it from the original manufacturer. If you order it now, they will tell you it's 300 days for you to get it. But however, there are stockists who buy the things in bulk and then hoard them in order to make more money. So if I ordered a part now, let's say a windshield, if I need it, it will be 300 days. But if I order it again from the same manufacturer, I can request for what they call AOG. That means an aircraft on ground. I will have to pay 40% on top of the price in order for them to bring back the days to probably the lead time to 45 to 60 days to get it. But if I went to a stockist, you will have it there and then, and he will charge me twice the price. So that is the scarcity we are talking about. But the parts are available, but the issue is just the scarcity. And because of the scarcity, supply and demand, the price goes up. So that is where our challenge is as an airline. But the parts are there, but they're just scarce when you get them from the original equipment manufacturers. But when you go to the stockists, you have them, but the price is escalated. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear in terms of the parts. But also, the issue of Mitsubishi stopping to manufacture this aeroplane, they still supply the parts. Actually, the biggest parts supplier for us right now is Mitsubishi itself. That's where we get most of the parts. Thank you.
I think it was a question of context and how we understood it. Because, and I would not blame the press on this. What I mean is that since the sale of this company, there was no production. I have since received, I think, 2 telephone calls from persons interested in this industry, stakeholders basically saying, no, it is not a fact that there are no parts. The parts are there because I think, as the engineer said, the suppliers are different. One manufactures the engine, somebody else manufactures something else. For us who drive cars, another one supplies gearbox, and so on and so forth. The context has been well understood. And
Chair,
you know, before I give you permission, you don't use that microphone. You don't switch off on the microphone.
Chair.
And I'm beginning to be strict on that microphone. Yes, you may now access it.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we appreciate has not really started any reproduction of CRJ or related spare parts. So we need to understand from Uganda Airlines the alternative strategy, not just dealing with responding to what has been said. What is a fact is that the company was sold, the production was sold, and the buyer, Mitsubishi, is not producing, and there are no indication of restarting production of CRJ or related spare parts. We only need now to learn from Uganda Airlines, apart from giving us answers and assurances. What is the strategy? Have you done a market research, a market survey?
Is the strategy not going to be given to you in form of answers?
This is what I'm seeking. What I thought he would offer is that, yes, these have stopped production, but we are outsourcing in this way and this way, and we're doing a market search on this way and this way. Otherwise, I find his answer not sustainable in terms of the available lacuna we have in terms of where would these spare parts be got. Yes, we have the aircrafts. They may be good. And I want to assure the airline team, we all want a very successful airline. But when we are in the lacuna of spare parts, what is the immediate strategy you have? What have you done?
No. I think let's also get their facts different from yours, and I want to appreciate both, which gives us homework to do. They are saying actually there is production. Not so? You are saying there is no production. What that calls for is an inquiry into whether there is actually production or not. That's number one. Apparently, my informer seems to agree with them, because this is their position which they have brought today. My understanding last time...
and say to you an informer to call you.
It's okay. It is my duty, it is our duty to find out. We shall have access to the resources you used to find out. We shall use other means to find out. You know, there is this song, I don't know whether in Chadondo East you've heard about it. One of us is lying. So we shall see who of you is telling the truth. In terms of the alternative, they have already told you that the parts are there on the market. There can only be 2 alternatives. The first is the manufacturer. The second is the speculator who buys or bought from the manufacturers and stocked. They called him stockist. That's their language. For me, I call those ones speculators. Then, what strategy do you want to hear from them? They have told you we have only 2 sources. Honorable Kasolo?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To correct this impression, I happened to be, at that time, I was in the Committee of Physical Infrastructure. I was traveled to Canada, Maribor, where those CRGs were manufactured. I went up to the production chain. Now, at that time, it was...
We have actually been looking for the people who went there.
No, the issue was, I wanted the committee, because these are technical people, I was wondering why they were failing to explain this, what is the situation and what is lacking and what have you. It's not that at the time we got those CRGs, it was very clear that the factory was going to stop manufacturing those type of plane, the CRG 90, and it had been sold. But we did ask them, they will continue manufacturing the spares. Now, my issue was, when this happened, I had to go back to my investigation, find out, did it close and it's not manufacturing? But I'm happy that the engineer has collected the information. The factory has continued.
What was your finding?
It has continued manufacturing there.
No, there is no procedural issue, please.
No,
let the member present. You were
No,
allowed...
I didn't want to be conflicted. That's why I kept...
Let me guide. Keep quiet. Honorable Nkunyinji Muwada, you into your research and told us what you found out. Why would you stop your immediate neighbor from telling the committee what he himself established?
And
I mean, let's be fair to each other.
I think we need to be fair at the same
Please
time.
proceed and tell us
He
what
knows the rules.
you've guided. Proceed and make your presentation.
Now, the issue at hand, I was wondering why the engineer, the technical, Madam Bamtulachi, you are failing to...
That's what you learned from
the factory has continued manufacturing the spares. But this is a global issue. The strategies are not only in Uganda. This factory manufactures for the whole world almost. And it is all about how do you place your orders in case of what you want to replace and so forth.
I think the beauty we have is the wealth of knowledge and resources.
Yes.
I already have 2 members who are in a position to establish whether there is production or not. So I am so lucky that I have great wealth on this side. I also command some wealth this